Hi guys, I'm Kiri. Welcome to another episode of KIRI'S Garage. Today, the car is a 1967 Fiat 124 Sport Coupe Series 1. This is very early example of this magnificent Italian Sport Coupe, which was presented in 1967. Because it was so successful, the car became a dream for many car enthusiasts. A car to be successful first need to be beautiful, then need to be powerful, nice engine noise of course, and then need to be innovative and reliable. All these things were in Fiat 124 Sport Coupe. Was a bit expensive than the rivals like Ford Capri, which came little bit later, but was very special. And for the only 2.5 years in production, Fiat sold over 113,000 of this Italian masterpiece. In 1969 was replaced by the next generation 124 Sport Coupe Series 2. This was more improved car, more powerful, better handling, and the most important element, a new design. Now, some people saying the Series 1 is better looking car, some saying the opposite, but the Series 2 was with more modern design. Let's say it's not from the 60s designed cars, it's from the 70s. Again very successful, near 100,000 were made between 1969 and 1972, just 3 years in production, and then was replaced by the vast and the most refined Series 3. This was very serious sports car with 1.6 or 1.8 liter engines and up to 118 horsepower. Imagine very early 1970s with this power. The car was a rocket. Approximately 75,000 were made. Again new style, new design, but still beauty and masterpiece. We made videos about these Series 3 cars more than 1 year ago, but now we need to concentrate on the original car, the 1967 two-door coupe, the car which was based on the 1966 European Car of the Year Fiat 124 sedan. It's not easy a car to be chosen Car of the Year. 124 sedan was with very stylish and modern and beautiful design, very spacious inside and innovative, 4-disc brakes, powerful and absolutely reliable car. So the base for the coupe was this. But then something more. Mario Felice Buono designed the car. The same master who created some of the most beautiful cars in the world. Ferraris, Lancias, Alfa Romeos, etc. etc. This was one of the vast works of art for this incredible designer. After that, his son was the leader of Fiat Centro style, where most of the Fiat models were created. Fiat 124 Sport Coupe, when was presented, was kind of exotic car. Not only sporty and beautiful, was magnificent. Even still today, more than 55 years later, when the people see the car, they just stop and admire everything about this car. We said it was very innovative for the time, with front longitudinally mounted 4-cylinder engine and rear wheel drive. The engine is masterpiece itself, designed by the very famous engineer Aurelio Lampredi. He designed many successful engines, including for Ferrari. In the Fiat 124 Sport Coupe Series 1 is a 1.4 liter engine, so the original is 1.4 liter 1438 cc twin overhead cam. Just notice that 1967 twin overhead cam. 90 horsepower with toothed timing belt, the first mass-produced engine to feature rubber cam belt instead of chain. The car was 960 kilograms curb weight, 5-speed gearbox, just very early cars were with 4-speed transmission. And then you have 4-disc brakes, very modern for the time, just the top cars on that time were with 4-disc brakes. Interior-wise as well, very cool and spacious with wooden steering wheel, nice instruments and seats. The car was so beautiful, even the tail lights later were used by Lamborghini Espada Series 1 and Iso Rivolta. The Fiat 124 Sport Coupe was not just another sport car, was inspiration for the other car makers. This car was so ahead for its time. Even the successor Fiat 131 Coupe was very successful as well. So 124 was the right car. In that niche was simply the best car without any rivals. But later Fiat make a mistake, going to front-wheel drive cars and abandon these beauties. And they opened the door for the BMW Series 3, maybe early 1500, 1600, first 1976 E21, then 1982 E30, even to E36 and E46. BMW was the car what Fiat should make. Nowadays Alfa Romeo try to recover some places with the rear-wheel drive Giulia, which is right way, and I think Fiat need to do something the same, because Fiat is known as a sports brand as well. Was an affordable GT car compared with the big names like Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, De Tomaso. Still, these four big brands were independent on that time, and Fiat, like Alfa Romeo and Lancia, tried to make something very cool and sporty, but not very expensive. And they did. Was absolutely positive and impressive. Everyone was talking about this car, like the 124 sedan. The coupe was very spacious inside as well, lots of glass and headroom. The visibility is great thanks to the very thin A and B C pillars. Just have a look how thin they are and how beautiful it is. But today this never gonna happen because of the very strict safety regulations. There are certain requirements, the thickness of the A and B and C pillars, the strength, and to approve the cars they do lots of crash tests including rollovers, so the cars first need to be safe. That's why nowadays you enter any car and inside is very dark. You can't see much, especially on the back seats. Anyway, Fiat 124 Sport Coupe is so pretty. It's like a rolling piece of art. This GT car, designed by Mario Felice Buono, was intended to be a car to travel by the Italian or French Riviera or anywhere you want to go. Was a car to drive with smile on your face, but not only yourself in the car, to share with your partner and friends on the back seats. And the most important thing, wherever you go, you're gonna be seen with this car. The people are going to stare at you, they're gonna be kind of jealous. This was the power of the Fiat 124 Sport Coupe. Was very hard time for the Italian designers, but on the same time joyful, so they enjoyed the job. The goals were very high. 1960s were the best time, the best era for the Italian motor industry. Once you have cars like Ferrari 250 GTO or 275 GTB, Lamborghini Miura or Espada, Maserati Indy or De Tomaso Mangusta. The expectations, even for the regular companies like Fiat, Lancia or Alfa Romeo, are very high. They needed to keep the level and change the models very often, to be always on top. That's why very soon, just as we mentioned earlier, the Series 1 was replaced in 1969 by Series 2. Not because Series 1 was not good car, but because they needed to be always on the top. Also was the time when Mario Felice Buono retired and his son took over the job and became the leader of Fiat Centro style. So he had new ideas and new energy, if you want, to improve the car once was created by his father. This time with bigger engine 1.6, so the Series 2 was with 1.6 liter engine, of course, twin overhead cam, Lampredi, and 108 horsepower, so some 18 horsepower more than the original 1.4 liter engine. And twin headlamps on the front to look like Lamborghini Espada, new taillights as the Lamborghini Jarama, and new set of magnesium Chromodora wheels. Inside, ref counter to 9000 RPM or 220 km per hour speedometer. This was different level car. So cool and exotic even, if you want. And then again 3 years later, in 1972, the WAST update, which is known as well as CC. So the Series 1 was known as AC, the Series 2 like BC, and the Series 3 CC. So the Series 3 was unveiled in 1972. Again innovation, 1.8 liter Lampredi engine and 118 horsepower. Very advanced car for the time. Just for information, no one was talking about BMW on that time, or maybe just 1500 and 1600 models. As we mentioned earlier, Fiat made the mistake to lose that sector or to give away to other car manufacturers. Even Fiat made a convertible 124 Spider, which was based on the same 124 sedan, but this time the design was made by the good friend Pininfarina. This was again very successful car, staying in production till mid-1980s, and was well received not only in Europe but in America as well. So Fiat was making once great cars. The original is the 1967 Buono designed Fiat 124 Sport Coupe Series 1, the one seen here. Especially in this bright red Ferrari color, the car is just amazing, looks beautiful from every corner. It's a real jewel, a piece of art. Today they are extremely rare, especially the original Series 1. In total, Fiat made approximately 285,000 of all three series Fiat 124 Sport Coupes between 1967 and 1975. To mention again, 113,000 from Series 1, and then 100,000 from the Series 2 and approximately 75,000 from Series 3. From the Series 1 they made most of them, but nowadays less in existence. This was mostly due to rust issues. Like most of the 1960s cars, the main problem was the rust. Today they are well appreciated from all collectors around the world. The other very cool factor of these incredible cars is the roar of the engine. They like to rev, and when it's in high revs, the sound is just incredible. They were fast cars as well, thanks to the Lampredi twin overhead engines and well-sorted suspension, front double wishbones, all four corners, spring coils. Originally the car were fitted with Pirelli tires, low clearance. These cars were pretty stable. The Weber carburetors were adding some power and dynamic to the cars. Weber now are very exotic. The first series with the 90 horsepower 1.4 liter Lampredi engine were capable of more than 170 km per hour or more than 106 miles per hour maximum speed. The acceleration from 0 to 62 miles per hour or 100 km per hour just 13.5 seconds. Great numbers for the time. The wheelbase is just 2 m 421 mm. The car is long just over 4 m and 110 mm. The width is 1 m 669 mm and the height of the car is just 1 m 340 mm. We mentioned earlier the curb weight just under 1 ton, 960 kilograms, and by today's standard this is very lightweight car, but back on the day this was considered as normal curb weight. When it came in 1967 was described as the first Europe's pony car. 1964 Ford Mustang was the first car ever to be named like that, but in Europe was the 1967 Fiat Sport Coupe Series 1. Then, of course, in 1969 was presented Ford Capri, which was cheap, like the big brother Ford Mustang, very sporty design, and for the first 2 years Ford sold 400,000 of this very new Capri model. Of course, now this was the European pony car. Anyway, Fiat was very exotic compared with Ford, that's why more expensive, but on the end was, and still today, if you check the history, Fiat 124 Sport Coupe is considered as very successful car. The car have been crossing the roads in 1960s and 70s and gives smiles and pleasure to the very lucky owners. So guys, I hope you liked the video about this very first, the original 1967 Fiat 124 Sport Coupe. If you like, please subscribe my channel and see you next time guys, bye!